Hi, it's time for Talking Shit. Hello, everybody. Happy 2014. My name is DeAndre. We got a special short little treat for you, and we're going to be talking about what is up and coming on our show this year. And here tonight with us for tonight's broadcast is none other than Steve Vargas from the band Set On Right, and of course, our on-site slave woman.
At your service.
The El Salvadorian Princess Leia of the production company Elizabeth from our hit series It's Time to Eat. Our co-host Liz is here, and Steve wanted to talk about a couple of quick issues real quick to the both of you. These people are both from the Hispanic community.
And we eat a lot of food.
And they eat a lot. I'm black. They're Hispanic. Where are you? What's your Ecuadorian?
Costa Rica. My family's
He's
from
Costa
Costa Rica. Get it right. Don't get it twisted.
And you are not. She is.
Not Mexican.
No, she's not Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
She's. What are you?
From El Salvador.
She is. Are you from El Salvador?
My family.
Oh, yeah. She ain't from. She's an American, but she's El Salvadorian American. Wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on with immigration. What's your take on immigration? First, let's start with you. We know that the president has said that he wants to get something going. The Republican Party is really kind of being full of shit about it. And personally, I think that we should discuss it with people who it directly affects and what it will do to the community, the Hispanic community and other nationalities. I mean, because that's what really bothers me about this issue. Is like everybody acts like immigration is just dealing with our friends south of the border. But immigration, these laws that we're looking at and changing things are not just about people from south of the border. And I don't know if you agree with the fact that they should be able to do something humane, or do we just ship everybody home? And I don't know what this fucking country would look like if everybody got sent back to where the hell they belong. I would be a slave.
Who would do the yard work?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I could get the yard work done. Yeah. Now, what do you think about immigration? I'm going to start with Steve, and then we'll go over to Liz. Or Liz, you go first. What do you think about immigration?
Well, as a country founded on basically people coming and taking the land from the Native Americans,
Right.
it doesn't make sense for us to be now not accepting people coming to better themselves and have a better life.
Right.
From the really screwed up stuff that goes down, that happens in like Mexico or in El Salvador, and other countries where people just want to come and work.
Right.
You know, there's people coming and working. You know, we're not all like fucked up gang members and shit. Like, there's my little sister's is at the Art Institute in San Francisco. Like, we're not all screwed up, fucked up. You know, gardeners. Like, you know, there's some of us that want to work and better ourselves.
And I know that Steve, besides...
I'm not a gardener.
Steve, as well as Elizabeth, they both work, and I'm disabled right now, but, you know, Steve is really a hard worker, and I totally agree with Elizabeth. And in fact, speaking of San Francisco, we will be going to San Francisco in March. Hopefully we can get a conversation in with Liz's sister up there and talk about some of the issues in that area. San Francisco coming up the last week of March. But
You're going
back
to
to
learn
the
Spanish, though.
Huh?
You're going to have to learn Spanish.
I don't know. Me speaking English, sometimes Spanish all the time. Como está? Muy bien. Comida. How do you say eat?
Comer.
Comer. See? Corto. So what do you think about the whole immigration thing? Do you agree with Elizabeth, or do you think there should be some sort of different type of requisite that one would have to meet in order to...
Well, see, here's my take on it. I do agree. I think it's all right. You know, I think that the only thing is that I say whatever about the past. Okay, so the past is the past. The Indians got something taken from them. What matters is now. What are we doing today?
Right.
And I think that like everybody should be allowed to be here on the grounds that you pay taxes. I mean,
Right.
paying taxes is what keeps my roads, able for me to drive and not, fall down on my bike or
Right.
there's no cracks in the road or
Right.
the proper just whatever.
It could work. If a country that was founded on the backs of immigrants from China and the Native Americans who lived here, if we want to call them that, or on the back of slaves that were enslaved here, surely we can find something to do with people who are willing to work for a living. If the slave country can work on indentured servitude for years, and then all of a sudden we have all this dignity about who's really going to be here, then by God, a labor force such as most of the immigrants that are here, it's a labor force. And I think, like Steve, I agree with Liz, we need to respect these people. This is not cattle. In the Constitution, black people were considered like, merchandise, cargo. And we're talking,
Black girls.
Black Hammer.
and now we as real whole people. And I think the rest of this immigration stuff will be ironed out. And you know what? I think a lot of it has to do with the Republicans' fear of votes. I know that they're very, that party is very, very, kind of aggressive toward immigration in the sense that they're not very respectful. And like Liz was saying, they consider some of these workers, these people, these human beings as, like a pain or whatever. And I think that, it's easy for those types of people, once they do gain some sort of citizenship, probably won't be voting very much for that party. And I think that's one of the main fears that the Republicans have. I mean, everything about their party is shrinking. Old white men.
See, I think the thing about it also is that the lack of education.
Right.
I mean, coming from an uneducated person myself, I didn't graduate or nothing. High school.
Right. I didn't either.
But the thing about it is that the fear is that these people are going to, vote for each other or whatever.
Right.
But
we're taking over!
But it's lack of education. I think
Yeah,
there's.
I think you're so right.
Yeah.
But and I think that's why you run into so much, like Robert, who will be doing a show with us later this week, opening up the Social Justice Fair over at El Camino on Thursday, February the 13th. Our poster here, that's going to be coming up. But Robert has been doing a lot of work with these issues that you're talking about. I totally agree with you. It's about education.
You're going to say these kind of people, huh?
I'm not Ross Perot, bro. Foolio. Let's do one other quick issue, and it was a little bit about last night. We had some dinner. We had some friends over. We're going to be introducing one of our new production members on our production team. He is known as the Frog. But we got into a heated discussion with him a little bit last night about music. And Steve is an expert on music. Elizabeth listens to some of the weirdest fucking music on the planet. She's really very educated in music. What do you think about Mac and Mary? Or what's his name again?
Macklemore.
Malcolm Moore. What? Say it
I don't even
slowly.
really know how to pronounce his name
Say,
either.
you're just like Robert. Robert says names fast when he doesn't know how to say them. Say it.
Macklemore?
Macklemore.
I'm gonna get some what is it? I'm gonna get
$20
Goodwill
in my
clothes.
pocket.
I got $20 in my pocket. What do you think about this guy? I watched the video. I put it up on our Facebook page. I posted his video, that song we're making fun of. What is this guy?
He's just, he's another guy who's into hip hop. I think he's very influential. He's a white guy, which kind of sets him off the side.
Steve kind of look white. He looks white. That's
well, it's because this is what people get. They get it twisted. See, my parents, they're Costa Rican.
Right.
I'm American. Okay. I was born here. I was born in Hermosa Beach.
When it comes to the food, I was American. No.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell me about Mackie Moore.
From the little that I know about the guy is that he's very influential. I mean, I've listened to a couple of his songs. He's real funny. It's he's got that thrift store song, but he's also got some other songs that deals with his
social issues or what?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, his experience with drugs and alcohol.
He's in recovery.
Yeah, he openly speaks about in his lyrics that he's in recovery. And
so is he new, or has he been around for a while, or? I just don't know enough about this guy.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about him either. I mean, he doesn't. It's not really the style and the genre of music that I listen to. I'm more into like punk rock or some type of like heavy metal or hardcore or whatever. But like I said, I listen to all types of music though. The songs that stick, they stick because they're funny, they're good, and then they obviously. Oh, see, there it is, right there.
Yeah, I put it
What?
up on there.
What?
I just I don't understand the music. I mean, I understand like what he's trying to say, as far as like some of the lyrics in this particular song. But our friend Froggy, our new friend that's going to be a part of the Black Man with Hand production team, he was getting into like the meaning of this guy. Like, what is his meaning? I don't.
Well, this song is clearly it's making a joke about thrift store clothes, And I think another thing that he's trying to kind of like post the front on is that like a lot of rappers and a lot of hip hop stars, they're real flashy and blingy, and they spend a lot of money on all this shit that you can just go to the thrift store and buy it for like $10.
What do you think about it, Liz? I don't know.
There's other like powerful rappers. Like what comes to mind for me is Immortal Technique.
Right.
He's been rapping about and making music about shit just as powerful as Macklemore. Like he's making like good music. He's creative and I like that, and I love that song. Same Love. But it's just like it hasn't been it's not taken seriously until the white guy does it. Basically, it's like the kind of what I kind of felt when he won all those awards. It's just like.
Did he win a lot of awards for a particular album or just a song? Or?
I forget what award ceremony it was, but
was it the Grammys? I know he won at the Grammys, didn't he?
He won at the Grammys, and it was just like he won 4 at the Grammys, and it was just like. But there's other people making just as powerful music, Like, how about them? How about we bring some real shit to these fucking awards, where it's just like where it's not as popular, where it's
really
not
plastic
on the airwaves.
I watched.
And it's just like.
I watched it, and I gotta tell you, it seemed like the fakest shit I've ever seen.
And there's female rappers that are just as powerful
Amazing.
as him.
Jay-Z had a woman on stage several weeks ago, and she's been on at his concerts before, just randomly coming up and out of the audience, and I saw her being interviewed on TMZ, and she's just this random, amazing, like you're saying, person who raps. I don't know. I think rap is an art.
From all sorts of cultures too, like because there's
Absolutely.
Calle 13, there's Bomba Stereo, there's all these other people that nobody really knows about because they can't sell it like how they can sell him.
Well, it's almost like Eminem called him up one day and said, "Look, I'm kind of tired right now. I'm fucking with this crazy wife of mine again. Here's some stuff. Why don't you work it?" I don't see anything really authentic about this guy. Other than the people who are just now discovering how amazing he is. That's the only authentic thing I see about him. Everything else has just sort of been done already. The arrogant white boy that describes what it's like to kind of be white trash. And that's
just
called
one of
being
his
gangster,
That's
right?
just a few of his songs. It's not all of his lyrics.
He has more than that going on.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's another song where he talks about, people using specific words to, like, title a specific type of person. Like, for instance, using the word, well, you're gay, gay, that word gay, as, like, a term for, you're weak, or, kind of using it, throwing it around like it's not really.
Almost like the N-word is.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't use the N-word on a daily basis, but
I kind of do, because I get away with that.
The N-word.
I is black. So we're going to wrap it up. Here, I want to talk about a couple of things. Liz and I are going to be doing a show on cooking pork chops. We haven't done that yet. Steve and I are going to be doing some music with Katie, who will be coming and visiting us in the last week of February. Steve doesn't know it yet, but I'm booking him. And I'm going to try to get them to practice a little melody and something. And then I'm also going to get them to sing something with me. Steve's never done the Bumblebee song. He's one of the only artists on the show that has not done the Bumblebee song, so that's going to be coming up. And we just got a lot of good things happening. I want to thank my two guests tonight, Elizabeth and Steve. And that's all the time we have now for Talking Shit. Stay tuned.